February 26, 2019, and welcome to the Civil Service Commission meeting. May I have roll call, please?
Chairperson Dolores Rodriguez.
Present.
Vice Chairperson Mario Liscano.
Present.
Board Member Vittorio Puente.
We do have a quorum. I just need what do you call
I
it?
make a motion that we go ahead and accept the excused absence of Dr. Puente.
Second the motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And he has been excused. We'll go on to the regular agenda. The approval of minutes for Tuesday, December 18th, 2018.
I make a motion we go ahead and accept the minutes that were presented prior to the meeting for the minutes for 12/18/2018.
I second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
The motion carries and the minutes are approved as written. We'll go on to item B, consideration and action, if any, approving and accepting the raw and final scores for the promotional exam administered for engineer for the fire department on Thursday, January 17th, 2019. Annalie?
Hi, good afternoon. In your packets, you do have the list of the promotional exam for engineer, fire inspector, with the raw and final scores. We had 13 individuals, and we didn't have anybody pass. So
one
staff
passed.
recommends approval.
Okay. Commission?
Do we need to approve if no one passed
Yes.
the raw scores? Okay. I make a motion we approve the raw scores that were provided for this last exam of the engineers.
I second the motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And the motion carries. We'll go on to item 3, administrative reports. And may we hear from one of the chiefs first?
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman
Good
and
afternoon.
Commissioners. This past month, our department has been very active in training. We just completed a command and control of incident operations class where most of our officers went through it. It was very knowledgeable for them. It gives them an opportunity to learn what to do in major emergencies, how to become the chief per se in major incidents. So it was very fulfilling. It was also open to other Valley departments. So it benefited everybody here in the Rio Grande Valley. So they were very active on that. We also had a sprinkler class for fire inspectors. Also, Valley inspectors were invited to come in, and they were taught how the sprinkler system's supposed to be done, how to inspect them. That was also a very good class. We've completed our annual physicals for our firefighters, and we're glad to report everybody's doing well, and everybody passed it. We had a class on our firehouse software this past week to be able to get ourselves familiar with the software, how we're using it to make our reports, and to address any little issues that we may have with that particular software. It was very beneficial to all the firefighters when we went through it. We may be asking for some upgrades here further in the future because of what we learned today, and we'll be presenting that to the City Commission in the next budget year. We are at station number 4 is at 81% completed. They should be pouring the cement around the grounds. Today I noticed that they painted some of the walls with their intricate colors. So if you ever have a chance, go by there and look how it's looking. So we invite you. Of course, we're going to ask if you all would come when we do ribbon cutting for that, and hopefully you all can do speeches also.
Thank
We have next week we'll be doing our annual self-contained breathing apparatus fit test and also our flow test. That's the mask that we use to go into hazardous atmospheres. The firefighters are tested to make sure that what they're wearing is safe for them to be able to go in there, and they'll have their annual test next week. So you're more than invited if you want to come by and see how it's done. We are currently helping the district teaching Firefighter 1. We've completed one class. We'll be doing another class on the 16th. And this is for volunteer firefighters to get to their firefighter level 1. And I'll entertain any questions you may have.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief Perez?
Chief, I just wanted to congratulate you on that training that you have as far as the regional training for incident command. I think it's important that we have to work with our different partnering cities when we're dealt with large incidents. So thank you so much for that. I had just a comment on the software. Your software that you have, and I'm glad you're going up for your upgrades already, but it is a specific training on just communication between your firefighters and the communication center, or is it more of a reporting of the actual fire incident?
It's us putting in data and knowing what data we need to put in and making sure all the information that goes up to the state and the national are correct. And the little intricacies are, people forget certain things to click on, and this was more of a refresher than anything else. Plus, because of the change that we've lost some personnel going to communications now, we need to get at some people also to be administrators of that particular software.
Understood. And the other thing was on your SCBA training, is it a just trying on the actual gear, or is it an actual testing where you do the actual
It's an actual test where they put the mask on and make sure that it's going to fit to you,
the seal?
so it won't fall off in a hazardous material. I mean, a hazardous environment.
Okay.
So it's making sure that we don't become liable in case something might happen.
And I just one of the things is I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a test like a host test and where you were pulling
No,
other
sir.
things. So it's just the
It's a
actual
regular. They get the
seal.
mask, and then they put it on you, and they do a certain calibration to make sure that it's the one you're supposed to be using, and the different sizes that are out there.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief. Chief Lango?
Good afternoon.
Good
How's
afternoon.
everybody doing today? Thank you for the opportunity to be here. So just a couple of things that I wanted to touch up on real quick. One of the biggest, at least, events that we had here recently was this past Friday, the 22nd. We actually officially appointed our 2 assistant chiefs, which I'm pretty sure we've introduced to the board before, which is Edward Chavez and Juan Gonzalez. Aside from that, from the 11th to the 15th, we have 15 sergeants right now at the PD, one vacancy. So in a previous meeting, I had advised you that we were going through a leadership course that is 3 parts. We were able to send half of our sergeants to the second course. Again, this is the FBI Trilogy Award. Once you complete 3 leadership courses, which is at the first line supervisor, mid-level, and then executive, then you receive an award. So right now we have majority of our first line supervisors in their second course completed, which is something that we're going to continue to work. Their next course is in July, so hopefully we'll get majority of our sergeants to complete that course. The next thing that we're doing right now is we're still working the list that we have, the certified list that was provided to us. Right now we're working with approximately 10 spots that we need to fill in at the PD. We're gonna again go with certified first. Once we work that side of the list, then if the opportunity presents itself for sponsorship for academy, then we will consider that at that point. But aside from that, we still have the test coming up for lieutenant and sergeant, which is going to be towards the end of the month of March. Hopefully, God willing, everything goes well and we get promoted to, we get an individual that promotes to lieutenant, and that will open up approximately 2 more sergeant positions for us, which will put us at full staff for supervisory. But really at the end of the year, what we're hoping is to be at full staff as it pertains to patrol officers. Aside from that, ma'am, we have different projects that we're working on right now in the beginning stages, and we're looking about replacing a lot of our technology at the PD, and that deals with body-worn cameras, in-car recording systems. One of the major projects that we have right now, and because it requires a lot of detail, and some of the things that we want to add in there is the revamping of our PD website. We're trying to implement different things in there, like online reporting, and different types of information that we can share with the public. But most importantly, we want to build that website to where a citizen can go into it and they can see and basically tell themselves, why is it that I want to go work at Pharr PD? So we want to make it a exciting virtual experience for them, so to speak. Besides that, ma'am, that's all we have going on at the PD right now. Aside from excitement and being motivated and dedicated, I'll be more than glad to answer any questions that you might have for me, and that's what we have right now.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief Luengo?
No, congratulations on the appointing of your two chiefs. I appreciate that ceremony you had. I thought it was important for their family to be present. One thing I want to make sure that that we do note in this meeting is the achievement that the Pharr Police Department has had with their wellness program and their achievement they had recently. The percentage and the increase in percentage of how you are training your officers to be better fit. It was important for us to be at that particular recognition that you had for those that had reached to level 80 and 100. Can you please just tell our audience a little bit about that program?
Most definitely, sir. So, what happened earlier in the year? We had our ceremony for the officers that participate, and really all of them participate in our fitness program. Our fitness program, we test twice a year, and that is either combat fitness or the row, concept row. You row 2,000 meters. So what happens is when we take the two averages of your test, and then we get one full average. If you score 80% or higher, then you get a fitness pin. I hate to point it out, but the fitness pin is something related to this. I know the camera maybe cannot see it. If you score 90 and above, then you get what is a fitness pin with a star distinction. The only difference between the pin that I have and 90 and above is that there's two little stars next to the fitness. Very important because 80%, 90% to 100. Now, we also had some officers that were actually double 100s, and some of them that just surpassed the score, and they were like in 100 and some scored off the charts. So for those individuals, they get to keep their fitness pin, but they also get put in what we call the Wall of Fame. So we have a plaque for all the individuals that have scored 100 and over on back-to-back. That's the fitness ceremony that we had, and I'm just happy to report to you right now we only have one individual that has not tested, and that is due to previous injury or that we have to get him back on track before he's able to retest.
I just want to say congratulations on that. It was very impressive ceremony that we had, and it's important for our citizens to know where our police department is headed, and it's great to have, leading by example for you participating and also achieving that. So thank you so much, Chief.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll go on to item 4, civil service comments. Do we have any?
No comment.
No comments. Go on to item 5, civil service directors reports. Annalie?
The only thing to report for this meeting, I do want to make note of the promotional exams that are scheduled for the police department. We have a sergeant exam coming up on March 21st, and we also have a lieutenant on March 22nd. And then we're also retesting for the engineer for the fire department on April 18. Those are the only 3 promotional exams that we have on schedule so far.
Annalie, how many lieutenants or openings do we have?
Lieutenant's 1.
One?
Yes.
And sergeants?
1.
1.
Once we promote for lieutenant, it'll create
Okay.
a vacancy on the
Okay.
sergeant, so we'll have 2.
Alrighty. Thank you.
And
Any
uh,
questions?
just very quick, I know that we work hard to make sure that we provide our firefighters with the books and also ample time, and I know it is ample time within April. Is there anything else that we can do? There is a total of how many that applied?
13 for the one that they just took recently in January. It was 13 people that we had.
Do you feel that maybe we need to look at elsewhere or maybe online in order for us to get additional support to help our firefighters? I don't know what the answer might be. I'm just saying, is there something that we can maybe go to City Commission and ask for additional training?
One of the things that I did talk to some of the firefighters were they were under the impression that they were not allowed to study or check out material other than when the exam is posted. And I told them, no, you can prepare for this exam at any time. That way when and if it's posted, you already have a head start with the material that we're testing on, because the posting of the material that we're going to be testing, it's always posted. It cannot be removed. So that's the only thing that we can do as far as encourage them to prepare themselves with time and not wait till the very last minute. I don't know if online they offered any additional resources. As far as the city goes, all we do for them is provide them the study material for them to be able to study and hopefully successfully pass the exam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? We don't have any items in closed session, so we will go to item 8, adjournment.
I make a motion we adjourn this meeting.
I second the motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And this meeting is adjourned, the time being 4:15. Thank you for attending.